What's good, TMG fam? It's your boy Ellen Queen, and we back with another reaction. How y'all feel? Welcome back to the channel. Salute. Listen, man, we about to get in some of these top 10. This is the top 10 cutest baby animals you need to pet. You in there? You in there?
Yeah.
All right, and then we're gonna check out the 10 weirdest things that washed up on the beach. You can only imagine what probably, I
don't get in those waters.
I think either bodies or drugs. That would be stuff that wash up on the beach that I'd be interested in seeing. Because you know they drop off stuff and stuff accidentally get in the water instead of landing where it's supposed to be.
I don't think I want to see the big animals.
Why? All right, man. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. And here we go.
Given just how many animal videos we put out, I'm guessing you realize how much we do love animals on this channel. There are absolutely tons of videos about them, and you should check them out if you haven't done so. But if you clicked on this video, it's because you want to see 10 cute baby animals that you just need to pet. We decided to go ahead and take up the liberty and went ahead and search for as many baby animals as we could, and we came up with this list that will absolutely melt your heart. So let's go and explore some different corners of the world to find where these cute little animals live. I suppose we just need to take a break from the ooky, spooky, and altogether ooky kinds of animals and go for these cute animals instead. And just remember to stay tuned for number 1. It is by far one.
Some of that stuff look like it's all right when it's little, but when they get older though, it just look like.
I was thinking that, and the fact that what's that next Netflix thing I was just watching where the animals took over? I'm like, man, we don't keep messing around with these animals.
What was the name of that? I didn't get to watch it with y'all. What was the name of it?
I don't remember, but it's
one of the cutest animals that I've actually seen on these kinds of lists. With all that said and done, let's begin, shall we? Number 10. Polar bears.
Yup.
Every year around the months of December and January, a new batch of polar bears is welcomed into the Arctic.
What the heck is cute about a polar bear?
They do look cute. They do.
Cute and deadly, huh?
They do. Like, that's why they're like, you know, Coca-Cola, they always have them in the advertisements and stuff around Christmas and stuff. They are cute.
That's true.
You'll see how big they get? That ain't cute, man.
It is a very exciting time for polar bear families because these little ones usually come in pairs, and sometimes they even welcome 3 of these cute babies at the same time.
Sheesh.
The mother usually gives birth once every 3 years, but in some areas, some bears might give birth every 2 years.
Could you imagine giving birth once every 3 years?
Sheesh.
Once the babies are delivered, they stay with their moms until the spring, towards the end of March and the month of April. Their most preferred activities are nursing and lots of cuddles from their moms, because their fur is not developed enough to help them stand the cold. Another interesting fact is that these cubs are born with their eyes closed, which keeps them quite inactive for their first stage of life. They end up opening them towards the end of their first month. You can expect these cubs to be about 30 centimeters long and weigh up to 680 grams. Usually, a male cub is significantly larger than a female one, so you can use their size as a reference to tell them apart. And now granted, I said you're going to want to pet these animals, but I really wouldn't suggest it because polar bears are, they are extraordinarily territorial.
See?
Number 9. Hippos. Hippos are massive animals, but have you seen their babies? They're so small and weigh so little compared to the sizes of their adult counterparts. In fact, a baby pygmy hippo, which is native to West Africa, weighs just a little more than some of the big newborn humans.
No?
First thing part of my mind is that movie with the hippo and it just ate her. I watch too many movies.
Apparently, because I have no idea what you... I'm done.
Babies. And still, hippos only spend 8 months inside their moms. That's even less than most humans. And just like all mammals, hippos need their mamas for nursing. But in the case of hippos, they learn to do it underwater. Hippos spend at least 16 hours under the water, so their babies develop a skill that allows them to keep their ears and nostrils closed while they get the food from their mother. But interestingly enough, they don't swim. They just manage to kind of stay afloat. And by the way, in case you didn't know, whether it's a baby or an adult hippo, these animals are not able to swim. They just bounce from the bottom of whatever body of water they're in, and then float around. Mama hippo is also known to be very protective, especially from the adult male species.
I would have never known that. A hippo who spends a lot of time in water can't swim. I'd have never known that.
It's been observed that adult male hippos sometimes attack the babies for many different reasons. I won't really go into the reasons why, and I'll just leave it at that. Nature is indeed crazy. Number 8. Cheetahs. The cheetah is not only the fastest animal on land, but it is also a very intimidating creature. However, their babies are the total opposite. They're just adorable and so small that you're just going to want to hold them and pet them, far from their mother's sight, of course.
Exactly.
Weighing less than a can of soda, baby cheetahs are defenseless and very dependent on...
Mom is not having it. Like,
Nah, man. You know, if I chase you through the house, what you do? You automatically what? You sit down somewhere where you at instead of running. I'm just thinking about like a cheetah chasing you. You can't go nowhere, so you might as well just sit down. You might as well just sit down.
first of all, no, exactly. No.
Like, as soon as you start trying to run and a cheetah chases you, you might as well just give up. Just give up.
Exactly. You did.
their mom. They're born in groups of 3 and sometimes even 5 cubs in one go.
Oh my god.
While the adult version of this animal is popular for their spotted fur, the cubs have a darker ash-gray colored fur, which helps them stay safe and camouflage them from any danger out there. And you see they have a sort of mohawk haircut along their fur? That's a mantle, and it helps them to stay hidden from predators. But more important than their camouflage is their protective mom, who will stay by their side and keep them on the move in order to stay away from animals that might want to attack them. By the time these babies are 5 months old, you can expect them to start wrestling against each other and play rough. Mind you, this is only a little preview of what the rest of their lives will look like, so you better enjoy their cuteness while it lasts. Number 7. Orangutan.
Oh, no.
Orangutans are known to be very cuddly and caring. Sure, trying to hold them can be quite scary once they get to a certain size, but still, they will be happy to pose for your picture as long as you don't threaten them. But have you seen their babies? If holding a regular orangutan is already a heartwarming experience, wait until you see the little ones. Their small faces are all wrinkled and their hands and feet are probably the thinnest you've seen, but they will be happy to give you a hug. The little orangutans are so small that they need a lot of help from their mother. They don't even have developed muscles when they're newborns, but that changes as soon as they start climbing trees. They only weigh 1 or 2 pounds after birth, but their weight increases at a constant rate, and once they're 7 years old, they can weigh up to 25 pounds. That's also the age when they finally become quite independent. Prior to that, they spend their time learning to survive under their mom's supervision. In Malay and Indonesian languages, the word orangutan literally means person of the forest. And mind you, that's actually quite fitting of these cute animals, given the fact that their DNA is 97% close to that of humans. Number 6. Penguins. Clumsy and fluffy are 2 of the characteristics that make the next baby so cute. The baby penguins. The fairy penguin, the smallest of them all, comes to the world with
A little bobblehead penguin. You see him? A little bobblehead penguin.
He's cute.
only 35 grams of weight, looking almost like those chicks you see at the farms. But there's also another kind of penguin called Emperor, which can weigh 315 grams at birth. And that's one you might remember from the movie Happy Feet. Did that movie make you think baby penguins are adorable? Wait till you see the real life ones. They're honestly way cuter and also far clumsier. Most penguins lay 2 eggs at a time, while king and emperor kings do just 1. Living in such cold weather, baby penguins...
And y'all be complaining about 1 baby at a time. Penguins over here cranking out 2 at a time. You know what I mean?
tend to stick together, providing heat to each other and having a few adult penguins watching over them just to make sure they're safe. Number 5. Tigers. And here's another animal that will scare you once it reaches adulthood.
No duh.
But it will make you want to cuddle and hold it tightly as a baby. I'm talking about the tigers, of course. These babies are born in a secluded and safe place that their mom chooses for them to come into the world. They are born blind, weighing a bit less than a kilo, which makes them very dependent on their mother to learn the ways of this world. As soon as they're born, mom gives her babies a bath with her tongue, and once clean, they are ready for their first meal. But there's also a challenge since these little ones can't see. They need to find their way to teat for nursing, and sometimes this process can take hours. Mom usually gives birth to up to 7 cubs in one go. But once they start eating, mom has to go out and find food for them all, and sometimes the resources are not enough.
Oh, wow.
See, I don't think animals get enough credit. 7 at a time.
Wow.
7 at a time.
Mind you, that all changes once the tigers reach the age of 1.5 years, which is when they start venturing out and hunt on their own. Number 4. Brown bears.
No.
Just like the polar bears, brown bears are also born within the first couple months of the year, which is interesting since this is the time when they're supposed to be hibernating. Compared to other large placental mammals such as elephants and whales, the bears are very small when they're newborns. A cub can weigh about half a kilo, which is only about a 400th of the size it will reach in later stages of life. If you
I gotta stop talking in drug talk. I've been watching way too much PD stuff, like cop stuff. I gotta stop talking in kilos.
Got kilos in the trunk.
If you've seen bears in the wild, you are aware of how powerful and intimidating they can be. Their babies, however, are far from that. They're small and vulnerable, just like many other baby animals on this list. And just like those other animals, they can't see. Since the babies are born in the midst of hibernation, their moms mostly provide them with very fatty milk, with limited amounts of other significant nutrients. After all, the poor mother doesn't have an immediate way to get more food, so she has to manage her nutrients in a way that benefits both herself and her offspring. It's not likely that you'll encounter a newborn cub in the wild. By the time they're out of their den, they're already a few months old, but man, are they still just adorable.
That's when he'd had to go right there when he started standing on 2 feet. He started standing on 2 feet. Oh, you
I'm
think?
like, who had
Nah.
a cub as a pet?
Nah, that's in my mind. You starting to get older and bigger now. Standing on 2 feet, you gotta go.
Like, he knows where he lives. He's coming
Probably
back.
deadly. Number 3. Foxes. Foxes are known to be very solitary and sneaky animals, but one thing is for sure, they're also good parents and they make very cute babies. These cubs are born in litters that go from 1 to 11 little foxes. They remind you of other animals, well, that being the dog, of course. And that's because foxes and dogs are related. But anyway, let's not get sidetracked. These cute cubs stay with their mom while their father goes out into the wild to get food for them. The little ones can fully trust the work of their parents, as they will do whatever it takes to keep their baby safe. Once in England, one of these pups got stuck in a wire trap. While its parents didn't know how to set their baby free, the mom made sure to bring food every day and keep her cub healthy in such an unfortunate circumstance. While they're the depiction of a cute and united family, the baby foxes grow up really fast and leave their parents as soon as they reach 7 months of existence. It's actually pretty fast. Now it's time for the day's best pick. Have you figured out which 2 animals I have at the top of my list just by looking at this picture? I'm sure you already identified at least one of them. Number 2, pandas. Pandas are giant and cuddly, but have you seen their babies? They're surprisingly very small and they're barely above 3 ounces, which makes them about the same size as small kittens. While adult pandas have little to none predators in the wild, the little...
No, don't do that. Don't all.
They're so cute.
Don't do that. We are not getting a panda. Don't do that.
ones are a bit more vulnerable. Snow leopards, eagles, and even the Asian black bear
We get a panda. I want a snow leopard.
Aww.
are known to be among the animals that prey on these cute cubs. And you know what's a panda's favorite food, right? That's right, they love bamboo. The pandas start eating the plant after they reach 6 months of age. 2 of the most popular pandas are this pair of twins that were born in the Berlin Zoo back in August of 2019. You can imagine the excitement of zoo visitors when these 2 were ready for their first day out. These pandas will stay with their parents for 4 years, which is the time they need to become independent, and they will be relocated to China, which is the place where pandas come from.
I saved the best for last, but first, I have a quick challenge that takes...
Red pandas. What's cuter than a baby panda? A baby red panda, of course. These little ones, like most of the cubs I already mentioned, have their eyes and ears sealed when they're newborns. That lasts until their 2nd or even 3rd week of life. 1 litter of baby red pandas can come with up to 4 of them at the same time. They're usually born around the spring and summer seasons. Once the babies start developing more, they start venturing and exploring their surroundings, but they are known for staying close to their mom for their first 90 days of life. They reach maturity in as little as a year and a half, but they stay relatively small throughout their lives. So whether it's a baby or a full-grown adult, a red panda is the kind of animal you still want to cuddle and pet at any time. If you could cuddle any of these animals right...
None of them.
That's what I'm saying. Like, where you gonna find a tiger at? Like, how you gonna?
People actually find a lot of tigers though. It's crazy. It's not as uncommon as you think.
It's not something I'm gonna have on my checklist though. But it's not like that's not on my.
Let's check out these things that washed up on the beach.
Ever washed up on the beach?
Wow.
Hey there, YouTube. You ready for some fun in the sun? Oh, wait. Summer's over. It's winter. Okay, guys, never mind. Beach is too cold. Go out. You know, it's too bad that it's getting too cold to go to the beach because at least most of us have taken a trip to the beach sometime in our lives, and we're lucky enough to find a cool shell or some kind of crab. However, some people are extraordinarily lucky and find crazy things on the shores of the future. So grab you some sunscreen and a towel, or go home and watch us, in the safety of your home because it's getting too cold, because here are strange things washed up on beaches. Welcome back to Top 5 Best, everybody. Before this video starts, I want you to go down right now and hit that like button. Also, while you're down there, ducks are a bath time staple, but it's definitely strange to find something like that on a beach. Well, in 1992, people around the world were scratching their heads as over 28,000 rubber ducks washed up on shores all around the major oceans. The cause was found to be a major shipment of rubber ducks that had one of their crates slip into the ocean, releasing the rubber ducks into the wild. The poor little rubber duckies were abandoned.
I don't care. I'm at the beach fishing and 1,000 or a bunch of rubber ducks. I see that as a sign that we need to get out of here. Something's not right in the ecosystem. Something wrong. I'm leaving. That's just too weird to me. Weird means leave.
That's crazy. Like, wow.
Abandoned in the middle of the Pacific Ocean while on a voyage from Hong Kong to the United States, and they've since showed up in far-off places like South America, Australia, Hawaii, Alaska, Scotland, Newfoundland, and the Atlantic. Some are even frozen in Arctic ice. Number 2, a giant Lego figure. Lego figures are a commonplace item in any child's house. They're usually recognizable by their small yellow bodies. Most people have to watch out for stepping on them as they can really hurt. Well, the residents of California were very surprised when a giant 8-foot-tall, 100-pound Lego man washed up on their beach.
I've seen this on another video.
Really?
Yes. I think somebody did that, placed that out there.
The giant Lego man, dubbed Ego Leonard, had washed up 4 times in different countries since 2007. One was recovered in the sea in the middle of the Netherlands, while another was found in the UK. Next, one washed up in Florida and California. No one knows exactly why these mysterious Lego men are appearing, but they have one eerie message etched on their feet. I'm no more real than you are. We've not found the creators of these Lego men yet, and no one knows their true purpose. Unless, of course, Godzilla comes out and he steps on the Lego. That's our main defense right there. Nobody can beat that. Number 3, Nike sneakers. Nike is one of the biggest shoe producers in the world, and their products are everywhere in the world. However, you wouldn't expect them to wash up on a beach in the middle of nowhere. Well, that's what happened in 1990 when a shipment of Nike sneakers went overboard and spilled into the ocean. Since then, scientists have been using these same sneakers to track ocean currents throughout the world. The sneakers float up for about 10 years, and people have been able to wear the ones that have floated for 3 years. So if you're ever short on cash and need a new pair, check out your local beach to find the sneakers. You can identify these sneakers with the famous serial number of 900406. Number 4, bananas. Bananas can be found in most grocery stores, but in 2 islands of the Dutch North Islands, they found over a ton of bananas. Some of the natives used the still ripe bananas, however, they were still left with an abundance of bananas. Some residents suggested that they donate them to the local zoo. However, for these residents...
How many people you think tried to eat one?
The homeless people, for sure.
I mean, not homeless. I'm talking about, you know what I mean? Homeless people are going to do that just because they're trying to find something. Right.
Yeah.
I'm just talking about people that would see that and just be like, oh, banana. I mean, came out of the water. Let's see what it would taste like.
What?
Stop, not me.
Since collecting strange things from the ocean is an everyday activity, as over 2 tons of litter reaches the island per day. Man, I guess you could say that this situation is bananas.
Yeah.
Number 5, a giant eyeball. Giant monsters are the thing of bedtime stories and Pirates of the Caribbean movies, right?
I love that.
Well, that may not be the case because in 2012, a large softball-style eyeball washed up on a beach in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Wait, that's not real.
Large eyeball.
It's not real.
Megalodon.
Locals had begun to panic or get excited when the local authorities, the FWC, reported that it belonged to a large 1,400-pound swordfish. However, the eyeball retained some clear-cut marks and was entirely intact, which meant that some weird fisherman had carved it out before letting it wash out into the ocean. Number 6, Doritos. Now, Doritos are a favorite snack of people across the globe. But did you know they're apparently the favorite snack of fish in the sea as well? In 2006, a shipment cargo of Doritos overturned and fell into the ocean, where it washed up around the Outer Banks of North Carolina, where locals soon turned to a frenzy over the chips. The day was one to remember, with seagulls and people running across the beach, gorging themselves on thousands of bags of free Doritos. The federally protected beach was soon cleared by almost all of its delicious litter by the end of the day.
Oh, wow.
Number 7. Rocket ship fragments. Rocket ships are made out for the stars, but sometimes they don't make it. Coupled with the fact that their boosters come off when they reach the edge of the atmosphere, there are multiple pieces of rockets from various countries in the ocean. The large pieces sometimes wash up on shore, where the eager treasure hunter or space enthusiast can find them. Maybe if you're lucky, you can grab your metal detector and head down to the beach and maybe get your own slice of space travel history. What'd you find, Susie? I found a rocket ship part. What'd you find, Billy? I found Neil Armstrong. I went to the moon. Number 8, an NES system. Okay, so if any of you ever played the NES, you know, that small-time system that nobody liked. Yeah, it's pretty underground. I'm sure you haven't heard.
Really?
I don't say that. I like Nintendo.
You still got to.
I still got my Nintendo. I still have my Nintendo, right?
Heard of it. Well, either way, the Nintendo Entertainment System brings back a lot of memories for most people who played the games in their childhood. It must have come to a surprise when one Reddit user found a full NES washed up on the rocky shore of a beach. It was probably waterlogged and didn't work, but it seemed to be completely intact. Not only that, but the previous owner had left the game still inside of it. And what's even more interesting is how the system got there. Maybe a group of fishermen were having fun until somebody rage quitted. Number 9. American Bomber P-38 plane.
What?
Now, this has been hidden under the sands and waves since it crashed off the coast of Wales in 1942, but now this wreckage of a rare World War II fighter plane may soon be back on dry land. Described as one of the most important World War II relics of recent history, the location of the Lockheed P-38 Lightning has been kept a secret to keep the amazing find safe. The lives and state of the crew has not been identified, but it's unsure if its crew had survived or not. Rick Gillespie and his team of divers have been working on studying the aircraft since 2007. Rick was quoted of saying, "The world's beaches, bays, and oceans are rich repositories of rare aircraft, but they remain largely unexplored because of the corrosive effects of immersion in seawater." Rick and his team give us a glimpse of how long these machines of war can survive. However, it is sad to think that many airmen still remained unburied even over 50 years after the war has ended. Number 10. Dinosaur bones. Common sense would dictate that you would look for dinosaur bones in the desert or some other common digging place like your backyard, am I right? Well, researchers in the UK have been finding dinosaur bones all over the beach and in the dunes near them.
Wow.
Most recently, a dinosaur brain was reportedly found pickled from its contact with low oxygen, high acid water. The dinosaur brain was one of the most perfectly preserved specimens in recent history. Who knew that just a walk on the beach would result in such a great find? Number 11. Ian.
How much do you think they made for that? Whew. Whew. A brain? Not a bone, a brain.
BMW motorcycles. BMW motorcycles are fairly expensive, and most people have to pay a lot for their luxury cars. But what if you found a BMW motorcycle for free on your local beach? Well, in 2007, residents of Devon in southern England were ecstatic to find the BMW motorcycles. The BMW cargo had reportedly gone overboard somewhere in the ocean in Napoli. It is unclear if the BMW motorcycles were damaged at all, or if they were in perfectly fine condition. The lucky residents surely called finders keepers on this one because BMW motorcycles usually go for around $1,500 new. Yeah, definitely a good find on that one. Number 12.
15. That's all? 1,500 new?
It's a motorcycle.
Millions of dollars of cocaine. Now, cocaine is a very dangerous drug.
Bless you. I told you. I told you.
You did.
I told you.
And you were sitting here waiting for it.
I was hoping they didn't let me down.
I need some more in my cup.
Cocaina.
I need some more in my cup. Dealing with you and this whole, I don't know why you on this kilo stuff.
And the consequences of possessing or distributing the drug are very severe.
Gosh.
So it naturally puzzled authorities when over $50 million of cocaine washed up on the beaches of Yarmouth. The total amount of suspected cocaine...
I've seen this in another video too. And he said, what, $15 million? Mm-hmm. So they actually mean $30 million? Because you know all that cocaine ain't make it back to the station.
You think so?
Man, I'd be willing to bet anything on that. It all didn't make it back. They sold some of it. They sold some.
So you're saying officers were
estimated to...
What?
You're saying those officers were crooked?
One of them was crooked.
that much stuff, how are you gonna get some of it away from everybody else? Like, how are you gonna like take half of it?
They all became cricket that day.
Oh wow.
To be around 360 kilograms. If this were found and distributed on the streets, it could have had a potential value of upwards of $50 million.
Oh wow.
Now,
Yeah, see how you just became cricket? $50 million. That made you become cricket right there, didn't it?
Everybody had to sign on the agreement.
nobody knows why cargo that valuable was dumped into the ocean, but some suspect that the smugglers either had a disagreement that resulted in the lost supplies, or they were under suspicion by the authorities and quickly dumped the incriminating evidence overboard. The NCA stated this is obviously a substantial seizure of Class A drugs, and its loss will represent a major blow to the organized criminals involved. The drugs were never used unless some fishermen found them first. You know, I like to imagine that McGruff the crime dog is actually the cause of this. He just snuck onto a dealer's boat and then he pushed it all off. Number 13, giant jellyfish. Jellyfish are usually thought to be peaceful or stupid creatures. Well, some can become quite menacing. A huge jellyfish armed with a powerful sting had washed up on a Tasmanian beach. This sparked fears of a summer invasion. The rare creature was thought to be a lion's mane, which is a breed that can potentially cause serious harm to humans if they're stung. Locals said the latest is the largest by far to be washed ashore. Many smaller jellyfish have washed up on the beach over the last few weeks, and a sting from the lion's mane jellyfish can result in blistered red skin and intense pain, but most healthy people will simply have to wait for the pain to pass.
Or they say you pee on it.
The point is, did you see those people about to touch it? I'm sorry.
The huge monster of a jellyfish is odd and shaped, but luckily for us, it can survive on land. Number 14, huge teeth. Sharks are fairly scary, but they haven't been as big as they have been in the prehistoric ages. But what if you found a tooth this big as this one at your beach? Thank goodness these prehistoric monsters aren't here to frighten us any longer, seriously.
They're not
Number
here
15,
any longer.
a missile. Now, some of the beaches that most of us like to go to can sometimes have sharp shells that are dangerous and hurt to step on. Well, if you thought that was dangerous, imagine taking a beach stroll and finding a huge missile. The bomb was not known to be a dud or not, so authorities cautioned people to stay away from it, as it could still be dangerous. Luckily, nobody was harmed, but the missile remains a mystery to this day. Well, that was our list of strange things that have washed up on beaches around the world.
That would suck. Wash up and it still is able to be detonated. That would suck. That would suck badly. But you know they have found stuff to wash up like that, and then they had to go off and detonate it. Or try to disarm it.
That's crazy.
Listen, man, y'all get at us in the comment section. Let us know what some of the craziest things that you found that have washed up on the shore. We don't go to the beach much. You know what I mean? They pull too much crazy stuff out of there. I've seen alligators come out of the water too as well. I'm cool on that now. Cool. Say when you know better, you do better. So doing better is for us not to go back to the beach. So y'all get at us in the comment section. Let us know what y'all think. Leave a like.
Leave a lot.
A lot. Leave a like. Let them know you're not a robot, man. And stick around and stay tuned to the next reaction. I'm out. Peace. Hey, you were supposed to step in and do it.
Oh, I was just looking at the face. Sorry.